Okay, so here we are with the Wondermelon watermelon variety. I wanted to start it off first showing these little marks here at the top. This is typical marks of whatever type of animal that steals my fruits. I'm not sure exactly which animal it is, probably a possum or a raccoon, but they tend to leave these marks, so I'm kind of familiar with those marks. But in a perfect world where there's no animals trying to attack my watermelons, it'll have a rind that looks like this. This is actually a very small one. It should have reached up to 40 pounds. I was doing some major experimenting this season, and this experiment was a bust. It was a fail. Growing watermelons in grow bags, I wouldn't recommend it. You lose a hell of a yield, and you lose a lot of size. So if you want a high yield of large watermelons, I suggest you keep those suckers planted in the ground and not in grow bags. Or if you're going to plant them in grow bags, make sure it's a short grow bag that's acting as a raised bed. The grow bags I'm using are basically acting as grow bags because they stand upwards of 2+ feet off the ground, so the roots of these plants don't actually reach into the native soil. So I believe something is going on there. Maybe because the native soil contains bacteria that allows enhanced growth of the watermelons, yada yada, all that scientific stuff. Not really sure. I'm not really trying to ponder on it. I just wanted to do an experiment to see if I would have the same yield of my usual large watermelons, and I didn't. I'm honestly not looking forward into cutting into this guy because, I mean, let's be real. I'm not sure if it's ripe, honestly. The the umbilical died out or dried out while it was still connected to the vine, so pretty sure there's some pink or red in there. Not sure how red it is or how sweet it is, but we will be, regardless of the status, and we will be testing it on this handy dandy a tag or Brix meter, which is what I like to use for all of my testing purposes. This is a digital Brix meter, which allows for easy reading. So since this is a small watermelon, I normally cut widthwise, but since this is a small watermelon, I'm going to cut it lengthwise, and I have it on this napkin just to keep the dirt out of the watermelon, just in case it turns out to be a good one. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. Oops. Okay, so more red than I expected. I can say that. Very thick rind on this guy. Looks edible. Let's get a piece out of the heart there, and we'll use this. It smells like rind, so it's not really ripe, not sweet at all. You can normally smell the sugars in the watermelon when they're real ripe. .6. For some reason, everything has been measuring in the 6 to 7% range. My melons, the watermelons. I wonder if it has to do with the grow bag. Yeah, so it's measuring in the mid-6 range. Let's give it a taste. Normally a very sweet watermelon would measure from 10+, so it'll show 10% or higher. I mean, it's edible. Tastes like water. Tastes like good water, I should say. So if you're not a fan of water, or if you are a fan of water, you'll definitely like this right here, but it's not. I'll say this is a watermelon for diabetics. Not to make fun of anyone, but if you're a diabetic and you still wanted to enjoy the flavor of watermelon without the sweetness of watermelon, a watermelon that measures in the range of 6 to 8 would be perfect for you. Nonetheless, on a hot summer day, this would definitely quench your thirst. If I were walking through a desert, the Sahara Desert, or some tropical climate or something, and I'm sweating bricks and I'm just ready to pass out, this would be heaven. So that's Wondermelon watermelon, my only one basically, out of 20 or so vines. I mean, I must just say, if you want to make rind pickles from this guy, plenty of rind on it. I believe it was from how it was grown. I actually did plant some in the ground, and those didn't produce anything. So I'm wondering if it's the actual, I don't know. I'm not trying to make any excuses, but I did plant some in the ground. I planted at least 4 vines in the ground. No watermelons came from those. Only got 1 watermelon basically from one that was planted in a grow bag, but I planted 20 or so vines. So this was this was one of the worst seasons to date. I don't think the rain had much to do with my yield. The rain could have affected the yield, but I honestly don't think it had much to do with it. I tell you what though, I am going to use this rind as fertilizer. I may even use it as a mulch. So I've been planting some new plants out, like my bananas. I've been planting a Lacatan banana and some white jade pineapples. So after I finish eating this, all the red part in there, and getting as much water out of it as I can, I'm going to cut the rind up into sections and use that as a mulch. And this will seep water into the plants and protect the soil from moisture evaporation temporarily. So that's that, y'all. This was Wondermelon watermelon. It's redder than I thought it would be, honestly. The flavor is okay. It's just not fully ripe, I say, because I doubt any fully ripe watermelon will measure in the mid-6 range. It's not fully ripe. I can't blame the seed variety. Not gonna try to grow it again, but hey, that's that, y'all. See y'all in the next one.